Hey, my little brothers, it turns out Xiaomi's accessories can really take photos and also display cute pet animations, delivery information, and basketball information. They can also answer calls, show countdowns, and music apps can be displayed on the accessories, looking better than its second dynamic island. Okay, this is the newly released Xiaomi 17 Pro Max, and what I'm most concerned about is how the performance of the 5th generation Snapdragon 8 core really is.
Let's first look at some benchmark scores. The single core score is 3,435, which is about a 19% improvement compared to the previous generation 8-core Xiaomi 15. The multi-core score directly exceeds 10,000, but the improvement is only 16%. From the benchmark scores, I think this year's 5th generation 8-core hasn't given me much of a surprise. So for now, we can say it's a minor upgrade. For the game test, we'll start with Peace Elite set to 120 frames per second at 1080p resolution, and then in the new main venue, each round has about 30 players jumping. I said last year that last year's Snapdragon 8 Supreme could boost to 120 frames, and this year's 5th generation Snapdragon 8 Supreme is no exception. Facing the new version with over 30 gunfights, the current test shows that the frame rate is still very stable, with fluctuations in a relatively small range, basically fluctuating between 117 and 120. First, everyone must enable Xiaomi's dual system mode, and then leave all other extra functions at default. Apart from slightly reducing brightness after heating up, I'm quite satisfied with the gaming performance of the 17 Pro Max. As a gaming enthusiast, another thing that satisfies me is its really large screen size, which is 6.9 inches, making it very easy to operate. If I remember correctly, this should be the largest screen Xiaomi has ever used, so those with gaming needs should definitely prioritize a large screen. Recorded in the middle, average rate 119.4, average power consumption 5.27 watts, 95th percentile 116. Tested for a total of 1 hour, battery dropped by 15%, ambient temperature around 26 degrees, and the phone's maximum temperature around 42 degrees. You can see its heat dissipation is quite even. Then I tested the full battlefield of Delta Force. The game is well optimized, and I feel the frame rate is even more stable than in landscape mode. With high performance at 120 frames, it remains very stable, with an average rate of 119.9, average power consumption of 5.16 watts, and a 118.2 at 5% brightness. So I played for half an hour, the battery dropped by 9%, and the phone temperature decreased to around 40 degrees. Now let's look at the native with all high quality effects maxed out. Currently, all brands have optimized the native very well. There is no screen tearing, with a half-hour average rate of 60.1, average power consumption of 4.85 watts, and a 100% real 57.8. Although there are occasional characteristic situations, this performance is still passable. Finally, after playing for half an hour, the battery only dropped by 8%, and the phone's maximum temperature reached around 41 degrees. For the last major record, a round of Honor of Kings, averaged 120 frames per second at full frame rate, nothing much to say, with an average power consumption of 4.27 watts and a stability of 117.9. To summarize, this year's 5th generation Snapdragon 8 core, although it's a minor upgrade, still delivers stable performance. I believe the performance management of the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max is fine, and I'm also looking forward to the upcoming mid-range phone battle. 大战了